Others voiced sympathy, suggesting Eunbi might be stuck in a cycle because she now feels pressure to keep going further every time just to stay relevant.
But I can imagine like certain management companies saying like, oh, like maybe you should go on.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that member is not comfortable with.
Do you think Bang PD is actually a scapegoat as like a first example being set for this whole cleaning house thing? BTS is not going to be affected by this.
Yes.
If anything, maybe the company might become even. Welcome to his favorite K-pop show, DK News.
Danny.
David.
Lots of
Hot ass tea. First off, we have Kwon Eun-bi at water bomb, heating up summer, but triggering a lot of heated gender debates at the same time.
No, not again.
Yep.
And second, we have the Saja Boys and Monster X.
Huntrix.
Hunter X.
Huntrix.
Hunter X hitting the Billboard and Spotify charts, and they are making K-pop history.
And last but not least, Bang PD is under serious trouble as Hybe and himself and a lot of executives are under investigation for a potential fraud in the stock market.
And on to the first news.
So we have the summer queen, Kwon Eun-bi, lighting up the stage at Waterbomb Seoul 2025 with a bold and unforgettable performance. And she started in a red checkered crop shirt and denim shorts, then revealed a white knit bikini top mid-song during a cover of Beyonce's Crazy in Love, and the moment instantly went viral with her fan cam racking up millions of views in just one day. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it.
Probably billions.
Yeah, you've seen it, right? Multiple times, I assume.
I cannot comment.
So many fans applauded her confidence and charisma, calling her performance fierce, fun, and perfectly in sync with Waterbomb's high-energy summer party vibe. Some even compared her to international pop stars for her stage presence, but backlash came just as quickly, and it wasn't just from the conservative critics. Much of the criticism actually came from the women's side. Some female netizens argued that the performance felt too sexual, crossing the line between self-expression and objectification. Here's one comment.
Oh boy.
Honestly, it just looked cheap. I was shocked when I saw the side boob.
Oh no.
The view count is insane, and now people are already saying other girl idols should learn from her.
Oh boy.
If this isn't considered harmful, then streamers that strip should be fine too. Feels like she's contributing to the decline of women's rights in many ways. This sentiment reflects a deeper concern that performances like Eunbi's might be setting unrealistic or harmful standards for other female idols, calling it a new bar for exposure and body standards that could pressure others to follow. And there is also growing concern that female idols are being over-sexualized, and Eunbi's stage might be feeding that trend. So critics say that she's not just expressing herself, she's possibly lowering the dignity of women in K-pop. One comment read, "When other girl groups wear modest outfits, people say they're boring. But now we're comparing who can show more skin just to go viral." So while some argue that Eunbi might be embracing artistic freedom, the wider effect is a normalization of female sexualization, especially under a male gaze. Others voiced sympathy, suggesting Eunbi might be stuck in a cycle because she gained viral attention through showing skin and highlighting certain body parts. Initially, she now feels pressured to keep going further every time just to stay relevant. This entire situation also reignites the debate on gender double standards. Male idols like BTOB's Minhyuk, newest Peko often perform shirtless and flaunt their abs with little to no backlash. But when a female idol does something similarly bold, she's quickly labeled as inappropriate, attention-seeking, or worse. What's more, Eunbi's performance has attracted a flood of sexually inappropriate comments, turning what should have been a confident, high-energy moment into a breeding ground for sexual harassment in the comments. It's like a magnet. Some fans are frustrated that women are both sexualized and harshly judged, and often by other women as well. Yet on the flip side, many argue that Kwon Eun-bi shouldn't be blamed for the public's reaction, and they say she delivered a strong, artistic, and unapologetic performance, and the real issue lies in how society continues to punish female power and freedom. But perhaps the most telling part of this whole controversy is the internal divide among women themselves, between those who see her as empowering and those who see her as damaging. So what
Yeah.
is your side? What is
Oh my god, you're just tossing the
Yeah,
ball.
exactly.
The hot potato.
Yeah, women are divided. What is
So a
Daniel
man
Kim's-
has to come in the room
Yes.
and decide how they should think. So
Right.
like this is very confusing because on one hand you have a certain portion of people who say this is sexualizing
Yeah.
and this is degrading women.
Mhm.
And on the other hand, we have some people who are saying that she has the freedom to do whatever
Yeah,
she wants.
basically
and how come
slay,
male
queen.
idols don't get judged?
Yeah. So which side are you on?
I think it's fine.
Fine,
Yeah, I
fine.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. No shit.
Whatever her intentions are, I can respect that. I agree to a certain extent that she's kind of stuck in this loop where she got super viral for being, you know, like the water bomb queen for her relatively revealing outfits in Korean standards, right? Before. For her, the easiest way for her to go viral, I think, is another water bomb. Like that's where she really
To be fair though, in
shines.
between she has done activities. And
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
shined.
yeah. But I think like her biggest moments in her career
course.
have been the highlights have been the water bombs,
Undeniably,
right?
She's
Like,
she's now like coined as the water bomb queen.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think before it was like Sunmi, maybe.
Yeah.
And you went to a water bomb.
Yeah. I think that's important. There's
Like,
a TPO for everything.
She's not doing this on Music Bank.
Exactly.
To be fair, her outfit is not that revealing. It's just that her body shape is in a certain way where it looks more revealing. I'm being very careful with my words here. I'm being
Be careful with your hands too.
Oh, okay. Her
Oh,
so
what are you implying?
no, I'm just look at her pants. Her shorts. They're not that short or tight.
Nobody's talking about
So
her
nobody's
shorts.
caring about the under there.
No.
If she was not like that,
Like what?
like you know how she is, then I don't think anybody would be talking about it.
I don't think there's any problem. It's water bomb. People dress like that in the crowds too.
And
They-
men dress like that
Yeah,
too.
they spray water guns at each other and all that. The fact that it trickles over to social media and YouTube, like that's unstoppable in this age, so you have
Yeah.
to deal with that. But I do think there is a little bit of constructive criticism there towards certain idol groups and certain labels trying to get some of their members on Waterbomb with the same way Kwon Eun-bi caught virality by showing a lot of skin or
I
highlighting
see.
some body parts. There are some examples that I won't name.
Oh, I know who you're talking.
Yeah, there's actually an idol group too.
Yeah.
That it's okay as long as the idol herself has agreed to that and
Yeah.
is confident. But
They
that's
signed
also
up
a
for it.
very gray line too because you never know behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
like in hindsight, there
Right.
are a lot of idols that have matured and got out of their contracts, and now they can say like in interviews like, oh, I actually
Yeah.
never wanted to do that concept,
Yeah.
but the
So Sunmi were safe
What?
because she was out of the contract, independent.
Yeah. So it's a very tricky line over there. At the end of the day, we can't definitively decide whether they're being forced to do those
Right.
concepts or not, but
Yeah, but I can imagine like certain management companies seeing this viral moment with Kwon Eun-bi and saying like, oh, like maybe you should go on.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that member is not comfortable with.
the status quo of K-pop right now, the amount of skin we're seeing. You know, there's a lot of talk about certain idol groups that have their butt cheeks out or more and more
Which
revealing
idol
clothes.
groups are
I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna say.
Really?
But even among the fans, people are starting
Oh.
to say like K-pop wasn't
Oh.
like this like a decade ago.
Oh,
like
I
it's
know,
getting
yeah,
too
yeah.
much. We can't give a definitive answer on this because at the end of the day, we're men, and these are
Oh,
women
oh,
fighting
okay.
amongst their territory.
I mean, men are cheering.
At the end of the day, I lean more towards the majority where they say it's fine, like she's comfortable, she's doing
Yeah.
good, she's now
Get that
successful.
bag.
Yeah, exactly. And then why isn't anybody talking about the performance itself? Like she's actually very good. Dancing and
Yeah.
the vocals are very
But
stable.
all the reels I see are like super slow motion, like 120 FPS. No, I did not search that
Caught
shit.
in 4K.
I
clocked.
did not search that shit, but it just comes through my Reels feed, and I'm like,
telling
bro, like there's no sound, right? There's no sound. It's I was like, oh, like what is this? I gotta cover my eyes,
Okay.
my conservative
Yeah,
eyes.
Yeah.
On
I'm
to
sure
the
everyone will believe that.
next news.
Yes.
Saja Boys and Huntrix make K-pop history. K-pop is dominating the US music charts right now, and it's not BTS or Blackpink. On July 4th, Saja Boys, the fictional boy band from the Netflix film K-pop Demon Hunters, made history by hitting Spotify's #1 daily top song charts in the US with their track Your Idol. The achievement made Saja Boys the highest charting male K-pop group on US Spotify ever, surpassing even BTS, who
Wow.
had previously topped at #3 with Dynamite on the same chart. In addition, Huntrix, the fictional girl group from the same film, secured the #2 spot on the same chart with the song Golden, and it also set the new record for the highest charting female K-pop group in US history.
Can we say K-pop group?
We will discuss that
Okay.
later, but technically they are, I guess.
Yeah.
The film's soundtrack is also getting overwhelmingly a good response on Billboard as well, with their album hitting 3rd in Billboard 200. That's crazy. And 6 songs charting in the Hot 100, with Golden by Huntrix being the highest charting at 23rd. Many are celebrating this as the success of K-pop and Korean soft power, but others are seeing it as a double-edged sword, like David said. On one hand, it does prove the global relevancy of Korean culture and Korean music, but ultimately, it was produced by non-Korean people or companies,
yeah.
Netflix and Sony. Capital, yes, Capital.
But people in production were
Right.
Koreans, mostly.
Korean American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethnically Korean.
Ethnically Korean.
Yeah.
And the monetary gains made from this film and these soundtracks are being made mostly outside of Korea. And they're profiting off of this.
That goes the same for Squid Game and all the other stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So some are wondering why such a show couldn't be made in Korea and how the Korean production environment or, capital flow should change to make something like this happen.
It's because we don't have money.
Okay.
And Netflix is a global capital, and we do have the human resources, I think, and I do think there's a lot of Korean American people involved in the project itself.
Yeah.
That's one thing to be proud about, and although like the direct revenue and all of that would not be benefiting our culture or country directly, indirectly, I think it's going to cause massive ripples that will trickle into like all sorts of themes and sectors of the Korean culture, like beauty, food, travel.
That is true.
K-pop. It's just expanding the whole field itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for K-pop. I'm very proud of it. I'm just actually very surprised because like these Spotify and Billboard charts aren't divided by demographics, is it? It's not only for like young people. It's for all ages, right?
But Spotify is generally like younger audience.
Yeah. I love the show. I thought it was very creative. The visuals, the songs, they all hit 100%. But I did get the impact that it was more targeted towards a younger audience.
Yeah,
not gonna
definitely.
lie.
Yeah.
So what I thought of like this virality of these songs and stuff was when I first like saw this kind of syndrome with Frozen, like Let It Go and stuff like that. That's the easiest comparison I can get personally. It's very interesting to see so many diverse demographics breaking that barrier of K-pop and animation. Those are two things that people would never watch on Netflix.
Right.
But like it being #1
And they're
like,
Korean.
and listening to it, I just see a lot of possibility and potential in this case. Of course, there could be a sequel. I'm definitely, for sure, I'm gonna bet
I'm
all
sure
my
there's
balls
gonna be a
there's gonna be a
sequel.
sequel
Yeah.
or a continuation of this. Like Netflix is not gonna let this go. It's very similar to KDA.
Yeah.
Like
I felt like they got a lot of inspiration from that.
Also, League of Legends has their own like animation series on
Arcane
Netflix. Also, the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
At the end, I think we could make a whole universe out of this, and not only in like a content world, but it could actually be realized as a real K-pop group if the actors or the voice, the vocalist group together and perform like Plave. So I'm looking on what to invest related to this IP. I think
by Netflix.
But a more direct approach. I think this might be the future of K-pop too.
Just digital.
Yeah.
Espa.
We're already seeing stuff like that. More and more success cases. But the uncanny valley or the entry barrier to
people are opening up to it.
To virtual idols and K-pop and music. Looking forward to Huntrix and Saja Boys. The funny thing I saw in the comments were like people were like, oh, in order to bring Saja Boys back though, they have to come back from the dead.
That's funny.
You don't understand mainstream humor. You're too in the
I think I'm smart.
dark side of the web.
Sarcastic.
Okay.
On to the next news.
So, according to an exclusive report by Joseon-Ilbo on July 9th, 2025, which is today, this is an exclusive report from them. We're citing them. Hybe's chairman, Bang Si-hyuk, widely known as Bang PD and the mastermind behind BTS, is facing serious legal trouble. Korean financial regulators have decided to refer him to prosecutors for violating capital market laws. Authorities allege that in 2020, prior to Hybe's IPO, Bang PD told certain early investors there were no plans to go public and persuaded them to sell their shares to a private fund. But behind the scenes, allegedly, Hybe was already preparing to go public, and Bang PD had allegedly struck a deal to personally pocket a significant portion of the IPO gains. So after Hybe was listed, that private fund quickly offloaded the shares and dumped them on the market at a huge profit, and Bang PD is reported to have received roughly 200 billion Korean won, which is the equivalent of 145 million US dollars through the scheme. This method allegedly allowed him to bypass Korea's lockup rules, which are meant to prevent major shareholders from dumping shares immediately after listing. Because multiple Hybe executives were reportedly involved as well, the case is being treated as a coordinated act of market manipulation. And now the scandal is having a direct impact on Hybe's stock performance as well. As of July 9th, it is already down more than 13% this month alone. That's a pretty big hit. And, big hit. Korea's Financial Supervisory Service says this could constitute a violation of Article 178 of the Capital Markets Act, and if found guilty, Bang could face life imprisonment or a minimum of 5 years in jail. And especially if the illicit gains exceed 5 billion Korean won, which they clearly did, he better lawyer up. And the timing isn't really on his side because this also happens to be the first major financial crackdown under President Lee Jae-myung, who was elected on a platform of cleaning up Korea's stock market. This was one of his strongest pledges, and many are interpreting this as a symbolic first move to show that even the country's most powerful cultural figures are not immune to legal accountability, especially financially.
Interesting.
Online, public reaction has been intense. Fans have expressed everything from shock to betrayal, especially on behalf of artists like BTS and NewJeans, who now find themselves caught in the fallout. I don't think they're going to be affected directly, but they're part of the company. So still, despite the scandal, Hybe's core business fundamentals are looking strong. The company is expected to get solid earnings. I think it's going to be very independent. They don't have to care at all. Like, even if Bang PD is in trouble, Hybe is a huge conglomerate. Like, it can go on without Bang PD. So here are some comments to show you the Korean sentiments. First one says, this is the biggest fraud since the founding of Korea. In terms of volume, maybe. It's a lot of money.
It is big,
yeah, the stock market needs to regain the trust of individual investors. Hybe has always used its artists to shield executive scandals. Now Bang should take responsibility. What did BTS do to deserve this? This happened ages ago. Why are they only acting now? They should also investigate the former head of the Financial Supervisory Service and the ex-Southern District Chief Prosecutor. Hybe definitely lobbied to bury this. Finally, K-pop is taking one step towards being cleared up. What a relief. So what do you think is going to happen? Be the judge.
Wow, you're just throwing me all the
Yeah.
curveballs.
Yeah.
If this is all true,
Yeah.
then it is a major breach of trust, not only in just this company alone, but just the general foundation of the Korean stock exchange,
Yeah.
right? Even before any of this happened,
Yeah.
Korean people have very little trust for Korean stocks.
Yeah.
And Korean companies because there's a lot of like those backroom deals, under the table shit going on with the chaebars and stuff.
We're cleaning house. The president actually pledged on this very strongly. It's right in the middle of changing the laws.
And I
for that.
think whether you're right or left,
Everybody
everybody's
agrees.
cheering on for this particular pledge that the president made, where he's cleaning house, he's looking out for the small investors. Get the stock exchange, Korean stock exchange, to the right place where there's rules and regulations that are followed.
Yeah.
If this is true, then it's definitely not the first time that a big conglomerate has fucked over Korean investors.
Do you think Bang PD is actually a scapegoat as like a first example being set for this whole cleaning house thing?
Could
because
be.
of timing.
Like, what big companies are there? Hybe's like what, top 20 in Korea, right? In terms of size.
Yeah.
Among them, what's the easiest to target?
I think Hybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because they grew fast.
Right. They
don't have traditional roots.
They recently IPO'd.
Yeah, they're an entertainment company.
Yeah. And
so they're not like
these kind of rumors and speculations were already existent.
Yeah.
So like it's very easy to dig up something when there's like something coming up already, right? I don't want to call it a scapegoat. I want to call it an example. He wants to. I don't know if this is all true.
And also, like as I said before, BTS is not going to be affected by this.
Yes.
If anything, maybe the company might become even more transparent. It would actually benefit.
Less people will be like, okay, now the bump in the road's gone. Like everything's transparent. So we can trust this.
But I think the chances are low, I think. Because Bang PD is a very rich man. And he'll probably armor up with like a huge army of lawyers. But it is a high profile case. So the prosecutor's side is going to be hitting hard as well. So,
in my heart, though, I do hope that it's not true. Because,
well, he's claiming it's not true. He said
so
it's within the
I
boundaries
really want to believe that it's not true. Because if it is, then it's very disappointing. As an investor, like, I'd be pissed.
But there's definitely uncertainty in the market right now. That's why Hybe stocks are like plummeting at the moment. I'm actually
I think
thinking
it's a
of
good
buying
time to go in.
Because at the end of the day, as we said, even if he gets
there's a
penalized
major
or whatever,
upside.
yeah, like it's not actually going to affect the company that much. And BTS is coming.
It's
so
him as an individual now at this point.
Exactly.
Right?
And there are executives.
What's done is done. If it's true, then he gets penalized. But as a company, I don't know like what repercussions they face.
Let's say he does get like a sentence, and maybe it's like a probation sentence.
Right.
Will he keep his seat as chairman of Hybe?
I don't know if it's like legally possible at that point.
I mean, Samsung's chairman right now went to jail, and he's still chairman.
True.
So
that's true.
And a lot of other chaebols too. So he might keep his seat despite all of this. Anyways,
more on the after show.
Blackpink's Deadline concert, new song, Dio. So we're gonna react to that. There's a concert seating controversy.
Oh yeah, it was.
People are pissed. Also, actress Lee Si-young gets pregnant using frozen embryo without ex-husband's consent. And the legal loophole sparks public debate. So we're gonna look into that. The Shinsegae heiress, the Jebol idol Annie from All Day Project, going viral because of her Jebol life moment.
Us normies react to rich people.
And also we have GD's written advertisement.
There you go. Go to the after show on patreon.com/DKDKTV.
Only $5 a month, and you get 4 extra videos.
And you get to support this channel.
And get the extra tea.
Thank you, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.